You're watching On Demand. Please check the closing time before trying to vote or enter any competition or other interactivity in this programme, as it may not count and you may still be charged.
Welcome to Loose Women! It's so weird doing this. That is my favourite song, and I chose to open the show with it because it is a very special day. I am taking over for the next half an hour. Apologies in advance to anyone who doesn't want that to happen. It's happening. All the topics have got the Stacey seal of approval. So, looking after me on the panel today, it is Nadia Sawala. Woo! Linda Robson. Woo! And Jane Moore. Woo! I fucking love it. So, girls, do you want to know what's coming up?
Yes!
Come on. OK. Coming up, is it ever OK to use the word fat when talking to your child about their weight? That's next. Then, would you judge a friend for selling saucy snaps on social media? And at 12:45, my fave pastime, decluttering. Find out which one of us these very messy drawers belong to. I'll give you a clue. It definitely isn't me. 100% not me. First up, this headline really shocked me this morning. How to help your child have a slimmer summer. But ignore the headline for a second. It's a really serious problem at the moment because new research has shown that the average British child has put on half a stone in lockdown, and experts are warning us that today's obese children will be tomorrow's obese adults. But should you ever tell your child that they're overweight, do you think?
No, never in a million years.
You wouldn't?
No, because, like, we spend half of their lives, the first half of their lives feeding them up, trying to get them to eat everything, and then the second half of your life, you spend most of us on a diet or trying to lose weight or be healthier. And I think, obviously, in lockdown, they've been locked up, haven't they?
Yeah.
So that most of them have spent all the time on their laptops or computers or whatever, and they're not getting out to play football or do the things that they'd normally do. But no, as a child, like as one of my children, Lauren, she had bulimia in her teens. So her cousin started losing a lot of weight, and everyone was saying, "Oh, look, have you seen Fran? She looks amazing. She looks absolutely fantastic." And then Lauren found out that Fran had bulimia, so she started making herself sick. So I had years and years of worrying about her, standing outside toilets, listening to see if I could hear her being sick. But the thing I think that saved her was when she got pregnant. That's when all of this stopped, and since then she's had a really healthy lifestyle.
Thank God.
But I think with kids, you know, if they are a bit overweight, they get the mickey taken out of them in playgrounds, and kids call them fat, and it can be horrible. So I think what you need to do is just, like, gently, slowly take away the fattening stuff, like the sweets and, like, cereals with sugar and everything, and just gently try and introduce the more healthier sort of choices, really.
It is scary, isn't it, Nads? Because sometimes I've done it before where I've said, God, you look amazing, or God, have you lost weight? And you don't realise, like, after hearing that in Linda, what impact, that negative impact, actually, that can have on the people around, because it's the narrative that being slim is the most important thing.
I'm so programmed to do it. I just do it all the time, even now, with all that I've learned and all that I talk about. I find it falling out of my... Oh, you've lost weight. Or first of all, you never know what's gone on behind the scenes as to why that person's lost weight, and our kids around us pick up on all of that. I don't think it's an accident that also the average adult... No, the weight that adults have put on averages out to half a stone through lockdown. So that mirrors what the kids have put on. Yeah. And I think we've all been sitting around... I mean, I was getting great big bags of crisps that I never had before. I was letting the kids have 3, 4, as many bags of crisps as they wanted. And actually, it was like an intense time of teaching people to comfort eat. Oh, we can't go out, or we can't do this, or we can't see our friends, or we can't do that. So eating.
But it also wasn't that. We were more sedentary.
Yeah, as well.
Because actually, a lot of the time, you couldn't go out. And the kids aren't at school, so they're not doing sport.
Yeah.
They're
Gyms
not
were
moving around.
closed.
They're not burning calories, like just like anybody else. But with my kids, I've always talked about healthy eating. I would never use the word fat with a child ever, or even overweight, to be honest, because I just think, you know, you just do, look, healthy eating, it's better for your body, it's better for your heart, it's better for, you know, everything. if you just aren't carrying as much weight.
Yeah.
And you don't talk about them specifically, you just talk about it generally. And we're surrounded by it now, aren't we? Every TV show, every magazine, it's full of tips about healthy eating.
I think also it's good to think that if your child does come to you and say, I feel fat because somebody said it, or I think I might be fat, or can you help me? I think we've all got very eggshelly also about talking about being overweight and like not upsetting, offending or triggering. And so actually I think you've got to also be able to meet your child if they say that and say, oh, well, okay, if you're feeling that way, let's think a bit about where you might be eating stuff that maybe is adding a load of calories you don't need. Let's go swimming, let's go cycling, let's do all that stuff. But don't just go, no, you're not. Don't be silly, because I think my kids say to me, there's stuff on TikTok and all over the place about weight. You don't want them going to get their information from somewhere else.
The thing is as well is I think that a lot of weight, like what you were saying earlier, has a huge connection with your mental health.
Yeah.
So if you're constantly telling somebody, oh, you shouldn't have done this and you shouldn't eat that and you shouldn't do that, I actually think it can almost put limitations on them getting themselves to a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I think about all of the pressure people were put under in lockdown and how people were having to work from home with all their kids at home, cook breakfast, lunch and dinner. And I know that sounds like, oh, well, any parent should be able to do that. Well, when my grandparents were growing up, one parent was at home to do just that and one parent was out at work, and you don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
Both are working, both are full-time, trying to, make ends meet. And I do think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves rather than...
I just feel like I'm just getting so many takeaways all the time, even now.
Yeah.
I feel really guilty. It's like I get home, I'm knackered, I go, takeaway.
Well, Public Health England have given guidelines on how to deal with this. So they said you should use terms such as healthier weight status and healthier lifestyle rather than obese.
Thank you, Public Health.
Yeah, wow, that was really down with the people.
It's not my vocabulary.
Use a growth chart in order to demonstrate that their weight is outside the healthy range.
I don't think you should do that either.
I
Get
think
rid of the weighing scales as well.
Yeah, but of course they do weigh them at the National Child Measurement Programme. They measure the height and weight of children in reception class, so that's age 4 to...
I think it's
when
important...
everyone's being weighed all together and it's like that. But if you're...
But that's to assess obesity levels.
But I
And
don't
then
think that would
you
just
get
be
a lesson,
individual
don't you?
people, will it? They would do everybody, not just people that they think are obese.
Yeah.
But I think that ultimately everyone's going to deal with it differently and everyone has to find their own way in the end. But it is such a massive subject. It's not something you can just go over in like 2 minutes. But
Can I just say, you're brilliant at this. Isn't she? She's all foo-foo. Perfect.
You're making me go over, Nadia. So now I'm not any good. The next topic. So this one's a little bit controversial, and me and the girls were talking about it a few weeks ago. Over 1 million people have now signed up to adult websites to post private X-rated photos or videos. It's in an attempt to earn money via like a monthly subscription, but how would you feel if it was a friend or member of your family signing up to one of these websites? What do you think, Ned?
Well, we were on a show together, weren't we, a little while back? Were you on as well, Linda?
No,
when
not
Kerry
when Kerry was
Katona
on.
was on.
Yeah, I was.
And, as we do, we were discussing all of this stuff that she was doing before the show, and I kind of had an idea of what I thought about it, which is basically, oh, it's just all awful. But I think she put across a really coherent argument. I was a bit like when I was reading a bit, empowered, can that ever be? But actually, when she sat there and she spoke about it and spoke about the way that she felt about being totally financially secure, not being beholden to anybody else to sort out her finances. She's always been very open about the problems that she's had over the years. And, to me, what I saw of the photos she was doing was sort of page 3 with a spoonful of sugar. Yeah. And I just thought, well, if that is really giving you your freedom, you're not getting caught up with scurrilous people that might be controlling you or controlling your money, then...
Maddie wrote into the show to say that this was something that she was looking into doing.
Who was?
Maddie.
Oh!
No, she didn't.
I think the word "if" was there. It wasn't Maddie has written it.
Just a little sweat on there, Stace.
If, Maddie.
If. Obviously, I wouldn't be happy about that, but And the reason I wouldn't be happy about that is because she's had huge opportunities. She's had incredible support all the way through growing up. She's had a good education. Not everybody has those privileges.
But
and
why,
she's had a privileged
why do you
life.
need to have privileges to want to make decisions over what you do with your body? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
why...
I think I'm still stuck with that one because I don't know whether, you know, how empowered are you and how are you... How much of what you're doing is people taking advantage of that? And actually, the kind of soul that she is, Maddie, I just think... I wouldn't say... I could have had another daughter that I would go, wow, God, yeah, she'd be... It wouldn't be necessarily the idea as a whole. I think for my girls, I just don't think they would have the character,
Yeah.
I think
the strength of character
well,
to
I think
deal
you
with
have to be
it. It's
mentally
hard.
very, very tough
Very
to
strong.
deal with those, you know, being on those kind of sites. And, you know, and I just think, I wouldn't... I mean, I wouldn't have the nerve to do it. No one would want to see me. But let's put it that
You'd
way.
be surprised?
No.
There's someone for everyone.
I 100% would want to see you.
Oh, I've seen her. She looks
It's not
great.
going to happen. It's not going to happen. But, you know, the average person on these sites can earn... probably receives less than 105 quid a month. So you kind of
Oh,
think,
wow.
is it worth it? But, of course, the top accounts, and I'm assuming these are maybe celebrities or whatever, can make an average of £80,000 a month.
Wow. What do you think?
Call
For
me
80
old-
grand a month?
Call me old-fashioned, but no, I would be devastated if one of my girls... I've got two girls, one's 25 and one's 38, and I would have been traumatised if they'd gone on a website like this.
Really?
Having said
But
that...
Louis, is it just the girl?
No, it's the boys as well. I'd
Yeah.
be upset if Louis did. So, I'm Catholic, Irish, brought up like keeping everything covered. My husband don't even see me with no clothes on. So for my kids to be out there
not what I
posing with
heard.
nothing on, with nothing on or scantily clad, I'd be absolutely traumatised. I really would. But yeah, no. So they would never do anything like
About
that.
you, Stace?
It's one of those things where I just feel like there's a real snobbery around page 3 or anything to do with sort of like glamour modelling. Whereas if Angelina Jolie did a sex scene in a movie and was fully frontal and, you know, under this beautiful lighting in Hollywood, no one would even question it. But under these circumstances, when it's on a website, for some reason it seems...
But you don't have direct access to Angelina Jolie. You know, she's got an intimacy coordinator on set.
Well, but she's
But
still
more and
selling
more
her...
these days-
What worries me
it's
about these
essentially the same
sites-
thing, is you're still selling your body.
Yeah, but what worries me about... But there's a finite what she's prepared to do. What worries me about these sites is that there are some vulnerable people on it who are earning good money. And does it become a point where one of their private subscribers says, actually, this isn't enough now, I want more from you?
Yeah.
To be continued, Jane Moore. To be continued. There's so much to say on that. Still to come on my Stacey Takeover, I'll be confronting the clutter bug on the panel, whose home is in this shocking state.
Jane, you should be ashamed of yourself.
So make sure you come back in a few minutes. See you soon. Thanks for coming back. I didn't think you would, but here you are.
We had no choice.
You didn't, but they did. We're on to the second part of our Loose Women Stacey Takeover. That's me, in case you're wondering. And coming up next, a subject very close to my heart. Organisation. Nadia. But first, it's time for a super summer competition. Yeah! That is the levels of competition happiness I like. Here's all the details.
Just totally amazing.
I've never had a feeling like it before in my life. Just do it, keep it entering, because it does happen. It happened to me, and it can happen to you too.
These are the words of some of your previous ITV winners who entered our competitions and won big. Imagine how it would feel to become one of them. You could soon find out for yourself, as here's another chance to win big with a massive cash prize of £70,000. And we'll also cover your rent or mortgage for 2 years. Yep, 24 whole months. Imagine all that spare cash you can now spend on anything you like. Any ideas on how you'd spend it?
I would buy like a mobile burger unit and go around to festivals, making a living that way, so I didn't have to do a really boring job.
2 prizes, 1 competition.
I didn't realise you wanted to do the festival thing.
Did you not?
No, that's a good idea.
What are you waiting for? For another chance to win? Go to the website, entries cost £2. Text WIN to 86060. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Call 09068 786060. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY31 PO Box 7558 Derby DE1 0NQ. Entrants must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday the 3rd of September at 3 p.m. Good luck.
Now, as you know, I'm very passionate about organising, cleaning, decluttering, anything like that. And I suspect on this panel a certain person is not. Am I right?
Oh, sorry, do you mean me? So I was just having a little snooze while you were talking about clearing up.
Don't worry, because I've got my baton at the ready. Don't worry, I'm not signing up to one of those sites just yet.
What is that?
Is to just introduce everybody to Stacey's Clutter Clinic. Have a look at this. Feast your eyes on this. This is somebody's house. Yes, it is not the outside of our dustbin. Nadia's phone from the 60s, a tennis ball, Trivial Pursuit, books she has never read, all in... I don't know how you do this, Nads.
Well, I don't. I just never, ever... I said to Marty the other day, maybe I should just throw it all away because I can never find anything in it.
We need to get it all out onto the floor.
Oh, God.
Spread it out and see what's there and put it in the right place.
Do I want it? Do I need it? Will I use it? The
Right.
three things
I
to
do.
remember.
Hallelujah, Linda.
I do think of these things when I remember you both when I open a drawer, but then I can't... Because your advice is always take everything out and put it on the floor, Stace.
Do you apply that to Mark as well? Do I want it? Do I... What is it? Do I want it?
Do I want it? Do I need it? Will I use it?
Right. Has he survived that?
Just about. He hasn't been
going.
using it much lately.
I'll just say there is actually more.
Right.
Come on, next frame. Well, this doesn't look... Oh, it's this
Oh, that
shelf.
bit, yeah.
This is very, very annoying. This cupboard drives me crazy because I
Well,
can
do
never...
something about
because
it.
I can never close the doors.
But, oh, my God, it's got doors?
Yes, it's a glass
Yeah, you can see it at the side. Look.
What is your favourite book here?
Do you
even
think I've written? Actually, I've got your tap to tidy there.
Oh, God.
I mean, to be
Poor
honest,
baby.
that stresses me out. Even that even stresses me out.
does. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know how you... Because I know that deep down you want to be organised.
Yeah.
Yet this is...
Oh, now this cupboard was a lot fuller than that because I've got a bit of a ditch by the bus stop outside my house. A big lorry went past, the kids were on the other side of the room, and shook the house, and they all fell out. Some lovely vintage
And they
plates.
fell out because they're not put in properly.
Well,
Look,
no,
they're
it's
all
because
propped.
the door was out. The doors were
What
open.
shocks me...
No,
is
you've
that
got to do
said
it by
that-
size, haven't you?
You told that story as if it was a normal thing that happens. A lorry went by and my whole house shook. Why? Why is this happening, Nadia? How do you get a plate out for dinner?
It's really weird seeing this through somebody else's eyes because this is just what I see, so it's normal to me. But now when I'm looking at all your faces...
What's that white thing at the bottom that looks like an envelope?
It's an envelope.
Why is it in with the dishes?
God, it's a good job you haven't seen... Look, there's some cough mixture there. This is in the sitting room, this cupboard.
It's all right, you've got your cowpole in there for when you get a headache.
Well, my kids haven't used cowbell for 15 years.
It's out of date then, isn't it?
Let's have a look at some cupboard porn, shall we? Someone on our panel
Oh,
has
come on then.
some real good cupboards.
No, no,
oh,
no,
whose
no.
is that? Linda Robson, my
Linda's.
guru.
I've been to her house, I've seen all that.
That's what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, all right.
Honestly, just a couple of labels, Linda, and that is my hip. Oh, hold on a second. I was going to leave then, but they've saved the best till last, haven't they? Oh, it's a bit zoomed in.
I think that's a bit unwell, in my opinion, Stacey.
Oh, there's always two extremes, isn't there? OK, lastly, quick one to finish on, wedding dilemma. Singer Blake Shelton has been talking about the awkward decision he had to make when marrying Gwen Stefani earlier this summer. Like loads of us, he could only invite a certain amount of people, but his response to some of his uninvited guests was, get over it, it's not about you.
Oh, my God, immediate ex-friend.
What?
Horrible
Really?
thing to say to a friend.
Maybe he was joking.
Maybe.
But it's true, though. I think finding wedding guests and making wedding lists is really, really hard. So in the end, I'd actually love to have took that attitude and just been like, sorry, it's not about you, is it?
Well, when me and Mark got married, we went to the expense of like sending out invitations to people. Did anyone take any notice of that? No. So all the wedding guests that were invited turned up, and then my dad and my father-in-law, Terry, invited all their friends along. Now, he wanted to invite the Crays. It was friendly.
Oh, my God. The gangster wedding.
And there's one side of Mark's family that have been in trouble with the law. he wanted to invite those, but his mum didn't want them to come, so we couldn't invite that side of the family. I know, yeah.
But how awkward, though? So how do you even navigate that?
I just sort of put my head down and didn't say anything about it.
You put your head down. So you're going to have like a really big wedding or a small wedding, or
I would love.
Are we invited? That's
oh my God!
You know we was invited.
Everyone on this panel is definitely invited. All my loose women, the people I love. I mean, I want to have everybody I love at the wedding, and there's also people I know that can't travel. But if I could get everyone together and everybody I loved could travel, I think I would elope, just to sort of make sure I had the people there that really wanted to be there.
Yeah. Could always do it on the quiet and then just have a big party.
It's more for, like, people who can't fly. So, like, my grandma, I don't think would be able to fly and stuff, so I wouldn't want to get married without her.
No.
Yeah.
But I just can't wait to get married, to be honest. I don't care who shows up and sneaks through the hedge in the garden.
We're there.
As long as the people I love are there and I get to marry
We're going to
them.
dance the night away, that's for sure.
Honestly, well, I don't know about... Wait, do you know what? Imagine if I'd got married this year, though. I'd have had the same problem as old Gwyneth.
Yeah.
Well, it's been on and off, hasn't it? I think you made the right decision to just take...
I've still got my frock and my hat ready.
Good, save it, keep it.
Just don't bring any +1s, Linda, after your little
just
story.
not the craze. That'd be great. You can bring the kids, not the craze. Right. Oh, that's it. It's over.
You love that.
Oh,
well done.
Good job. I love you.
Well done.
And I got a good go at a stick. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I've actually loved it, even though I was so nervous. I hope you have a great afternoon, and we will see you all again very soon. Love you loads. Did you have to just sneeze at the end there, yeah?
Thank you.